tabletoploot.com.
I hate to say this, but I think you might be muted.
Am I muted?
They're saying you're muted. I hate to
say
this, but I think you might be muted.
That was a killer promo.
It was. No.
Sorry.
Well, let's see if we can.
They're saying
we can.
I hate to say this, but I think you might be muted.
That was a killer promo. Okay. So you should check out Patreon. Basically, the gist of all that was.
They're saying I hate to say this, but I think you might be muted.
We're this close away from 1,000 patrons, in which we will start selling T-shirts, and you can get yourself a WebDM T-shirt. So maybe that's cool, maybe it's not. I think it's pretty cool. I know that mine is cool. Also, we have our sponsor, Tabletop Loot. Head on over to www.tabletoploot.com. Use the promo code WebDM15, and you can get dice. You can even get tiny dice. I'm going to use these tonight to fight the party. And so you'll get 15% off when you use that promo code. So let's go around to cast and crew and see how our intrepid adventurers are heading off tonight. I'm going to start with you, Greg. How you doing there, brother?
I'm doing well. My name is Elry, Toss Bottle, Halfling. Going to play, hopefully without an echo. Let's get to it.
Did you just have an echo? Did he have an echo? I want an echo. Anyway, let's move on over to WebDM's esteemed social media manager, Emma Lambert. How are you doing this evening, Emma?
I am good, Pruitt. I was strangely nervous before the stream started, and now I know why, because I'm a fucking psychic. I'm glad you're doing well. I missed this show. I'm going to miss it next week, which means today is all sweeter. But I'm very excited because I'm going to see you in person in 2 days. And I haven't done that in a year. It's going to be awesome. I'm playing Hildegard, the dwarven, newly grave domain cleric. did a little switcheroo after getting super sad last time. And yeah, we're gonna do this thing that we're doing right now. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Trey, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Yo, what is up? These little breaks driving me crazy. And I hate to be the one to admit that I'm a really jealous player. So the next time you leave, you need to give me like some fair notice so I can like adjust. So I won't be standing outside of your apartment with a bag of sugar waiting to put it in your gas tank. But other than that, yo, I'm doing good. I'm playing your favorite half-elf Kinsey monk, Dakul, and I am ready, so ready to get this thing going.
Oh my God, awesome. I'm already dead once. And last but not least, Kiana, how are you doing this evening?
If my mic would stop trying to mute me, it's going great.
Par for the course so far.
Yeah, you're not streaming until you try to speak on mute. Yeah, I'm doing great. School has been stressful with finals thesis, but you know what? I'm here with my favorite crew, going back into space. Things were wild last time, so you know what? I don't know what to expect as we go out into the big yonder that is the universe, but hey, we'll find out, and I'm sure we're gonna have fun.
Most certainly. And so, since we ended with you, why don't you go ahead and give us the ship's log for this week?
All right. Opening data file 47306. I have been spending the last few days on analyzing the new memories I have unlocked. A fight with a beholder alongside others like me. Falling out of the ship towards the Neurosphere? The Serena Sphere. Perhaps the location of my makers. Hilda is sad after the events of the deactivation of Ledbetter and the others. I do not know how to make her feel better. I hope to figure that out soon. But she said that we have to go to Darmadil. Visiting Darmadil has been added as item 11 on the to-do list, alongside visiting the Megas Arcadium and finding Krill and Sickle. When we were attempting to analyze the motivations and movements of Sickle before the incident, Ellie came by, stating discomfort in their chest alongside itchiness. The location of the pain corresponded with the storage room where the incident happened, where we discovered strange tentacles within the hull. Upon further investigation, these were identified as Creation spawn. Please refer to Creature File 513 labeled Creation for more information. Like a biological creature, the ship, in tandem with Ellie's body, started to heat up with a fever in response to the foreign bodies. The temperature increased at a steady pace, causing great discomfort and symptoms aligning with heat stroke among the crew members. This included irrational behavior among the crew members, such as Cole, who wanted to destroy the hull of the ship. The crew and Hilda attempted to pacify the situation when Elvie punched me in the face. Data is corrupted. Data is corrupted. Data is corrupted. Skipping to section 9. I heard Hilda's voice on the hull. I do not know what happened, but Ellie's symptoms were gone, and there were no signs of the creation spawn. The crew has returned to normal, and the ship is now still on course to Rontame.
I absolutely love E404 ship logs. I want to look through the monster files. Anyway, it has been a long rest since the incident with the Krajan spawn. The crew needed some time to recoup. The ship, the Dawn Rose, continued on towards Rontame. Still a little over a day out. And after a long rest, a few hours out, you can see Rontame in the distance. Where do we find our intrepid crew, starting with its most precocious member, Elry.
Elry would be he would have had a very long rest.
Yeah.
He is probably now walking the deck and doing like stretches as his entire body from top knot to toe is stoved and frozen from the biblical ass kicking he received not once, not twice, but 3 separate times as he was almost brought to within an inch of his life by his best friend E404 in an effort to help burn out the infection of the Dawn Rose. But even though he was healed by his captain, he still feels the ache in all of his little halfling joints. And he's just walking up the deck going, oh yeah, right. It's back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. As you're pacing the deck, you just kind of, you see Cole over there, like, you know, arranging something on the deck, tying off ropes. You should try an ice bath. It helps with the strain.
Yeah, you should try. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to just walk it.
All right. He goes back to work. And then let's move on over to Dakul. Where is Dakul as we begin here?
Dakul is spending some much needed one-on-one time with Hellion. He's starting to notice his little buddy's starting to get a little bit bigger and fatter. So he doesn't want him to do some of the things that his forsaken brother, his long lost brother, has done. He was notorious for chewing on wood and destroying stuff. So with Hellion being as big as he is, we kind of got to keep that under wraps. So I just want him to know that he's loved. And we need to get on that blunt rolling technique a little bit better, man. I mean, you're leaving bits of the spliff all over the place, Hellion. What's going on with that?
Yeah. Okay. So as you're giving Hellion a little advice, I mean, you have noticed not a lot, but it looks like his saber teeth, like the large ones, are starting to really come in, and you've noticed him starting to gnaw on like the legs of the furniture, like he's just like, and he seems sometimes discomforted. But that's all you've really seen. Like Hamilton, he just chewed everything, right? But only in the last couple weeks have you noticed Hellion. But you've also noticed, like I said, those fangs are starting to really come in. So it might be just normal teething. But go ahead and give me an animal handling roll. How are you teaching him to straighten up his rolling technique?
Well, I'm actually like getting down on all fours, embodying what it means to be a saber-toothed hamster. And I'm rolling with both hands and even nudging with my nose to make sure every single kernel is where it needs to be.
Okay, go ahead and give me an animal handling roll with advantage.
And 1. Oof, I'll take the 13, so that makes it an 18.
18. Okay. Yeah, he seems to like look and watch you go through the whole thing, and he takes his and he starts his little hands. He makes 2 little mounds, and he like kind of wets the paper and rolls it up. And when he gets done, you have an almost serviceable J. It's spilling out a little bit of one end, but one end is twisted off. He didn't twist off both ends, but you think you can make do with it. And this would constitute the first time that he is finished completely, almost. I mean,
yes. So. Excellent work, my little brother. I am so proud of you. Oh, yes. Come, give me a hug. Yes. Watch the teeth.
And he runs up and like maybe nicks your shoulder a little bit with one of his teeth in the excitement.
Hey. Oh, all right. Calm down now.
And he hops back down on the bed, kind of turns a circle, and just kind of sits there with his butt kind of wagging a little bit.
I know for a fact Elry will like you so much more now that you have gotten so much better at mastering this skill.
All right. Next, let's move over to E404. Where we find you here at the beginning?
He's probably hanging around Hilda. They haven't spent a lot of time with Hilda recently. And it's like, yeah, they've noticed that Hilda has been kind of sad recently. So wherever Hilda is going, he is going along to try to assist or just provide companionship.
All right. So Hilda, where are you that E is helping you out with your recent mood?
Hilda has decided that we all need some togetherness, and she has decided that she is going to cook a meal for the entire crew.
Okay.
I don't know if she's cooked anymore. I'm going to close the chat. I don't know if she's cooked in the last 100 years or so.
Okay. Well, you go down and Olga is down there,
Mm-hmm.
bopping around the kitchen. Looks like it's probably like she's cleaning up after like a lunch, like breakfast, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what can I do? Can I make you something, Captain?
Olga, I think I need your help.
Oh, okay. What you need?
There's been too much going on here, too much sadness, too much sickness. We need.
I do agree.
We need a good dwarven stew for everybody.
Oh, a good dwarven stew, huh?
We're all gonna sit down. We're gonna eat together. We're gonna feel like a family, and everybody can start trusting each other again, and nobody will betray anybody again, and it'll all be good. It'll be fine. Nobody's gonna beat the shit out of each other on my crew anymore.
Oh, I agree.
Let's have some soup.
You want me to get this ready for dinner? For
What?
dinner?
Yes, dinner.
I think I can make
I-
do.
I am going to help you.
Oh. Well,
Yes.
I always appreciate another dwarf in the kitchen.
Yes, I can do that. You're not the only dwarf who can cook and can be friendly to my crew. So,
I can. Well,
yes.
You want to start peeling these potatoes?
Okay, sure. Do you have a knife for that? How do you do that? I don't know how to do that. I've never done that before.
Oh, okay. Well, and she goes over and first gives you a knife safety course, and then shows you how to sharpen the knife. And then,
I know how to sharpen a knife.
and then she shows you the proper way, the proper dwarven way to peel a potato. It's an old time-honored technique from the Bristlebeard clan.
Mhm.
And after about a good 30 minutes, you finally think you have a grasp on it.
Okay, I'll do that. If E is here, E can help. If E wants to help.
He'd probably take a little too much space in this kitchen, but he wants to help.
Yeah, you're pretty much taking up like a third of the kitchen. You kind of have to just step to the side whenever Olga needs to move by to get to the stove. And it's actually pretty much reminds me of my pharmacy, where it's just a kind of a long cloth. And so, y'all are bopping around in the kitchen. You're making something. When we're gonna move back up to the deck where Elry, he's been stretching out. Maybe your legs at least start to feel a little more normal. Maybe still working the stiffness out of your back. But in the distance, y'all have been slowly approaching Rontamay. And Elry, you see Rontamay's tail whip. As in, like, you've watched this beast a lot and you barely can see it move. And you see its tail whip up above the city on its back. And it moved like its whole body kind of jerks to the side a little bit. And then its tail whips back down and is slowly oscillating back and forth. But it's a definite motion that you've never seen from this beast in the time that you have known it.
Hey, Call, do you see that thing whip? Do you see it Rontamay? Sorry.
I think I did. A beast like that. What do you think it could mean?
I don't know. Can't be good. That thing was slower than shit last time we were here.
And as you're seeing that, Elry, down in the kitchen, E404, I need you to make me a charisma save.
That is a 14.
Okay, you just made the save. What you hear somehow inside your circuits, you hear the deep rumbling voice of Rantame as you heard it on that day that you bonded with it. And it is a cacophonous scream. And it almost short circuits you out for a second because it's just the overwhelming willpower of it. Even at this distance, you're still like I said, you're still like an hour away. And you could hear it from there. And it almost short circuits you.
Okay. Hilda would probably see the eyes do that flickering red as there's kind of a twitch.
You okay? You okay?
Hilda,
E404.
think Rantame is in danger? It
Danger.
sounds like it's in pain.
Oh dear. Whoa. Come up on the deck with me. Let's go. Let's
Shuffle out of the kitchen and
Okay.
up onto the deck.
Y'all work your way out of the kitchen and you know, Olga's like, I'll take over. Don't worry. And she continues in the kitchen as y'all head up to the deck, to which you come upon a scene of a lot of the crew of the Dawn Rose kind of at the front of the ship, looking out over the distance, and y'all have seen its wings like flick and turn one more time in that time since you first saw the tail flick.
Where's
Did you guys
Sorry.
see that?
Yeah. That's
A motion that sudden could be catastrophic for the city.
I remember. Rantame does that to get rid of things that is attacking. It's what it did when I was last on there with the others.
Can we see any signs of like distress, like secondary fire coming from the city or like pockets of resistance? There are wizards there. Let's see if there's any type of like arcane retaliatory fire.
Right now, you think you see like a few small like bolts of fire. I think maybe you see a lightning bolt like leave the city. At this distance, it's still kind of hard to make out, but go ahead and everybody give me a perception check.
$16.
Man, that's back-to-back crit ones. Excuse me. 1, nothing. Fail.
9.
9, 10, so 16. Yeah, Elry, he sees a couple of like little licks of fire, maybe a lightning bolt come up from the city. And, you know, peering hard into the darkness, you think you see the forms of ships flying over the city proper. It's hard to make out at this distance, but, you know, like I said, you're about an hour out.
Hilda, maybe we should ready some of the defenses on the Dawn Rose.
Yes, let's man the catapults and one of the ballista. I'm gonna go to the sending stone. See if we can get in touch with somebody.
Okay.
Excellent idea.
And in your head, you hear Ellie. Do you want me to go faster?
Dan!
I need to tell everyone to hang on. Please, everyone hang on. And everyone hears that, and the whole crew kind of looks up, and you see them start to like, they all experience it. They all like immediately grab for a rail or a rope or whatever. And the sails kind of condense down a little bit, and you feel the ship push forward. Everybody give me a con save. As the ship begins pulling forward and your vision starts to darken a little bit into tunnel vision.
18.
Yep.
18 as well.
14 minus 1 is a 13.
Okay.
Not one. EY.
Okay. E actually kind of gets thrown back a little bit, even though they were bracing and they short out for a minute. Everyone else, you feel your vision kind of gets down to a tight tunnel, but you know the speed kind of like evens out, and you're able then to move around. But you fight off the effects of the sudden increase in speed, and so you can move about again. Although it's you should walk sure-footed because these increased speeds. You don't want to slip.
Should we ready a landing party? In case whatever it is cannot be solved from aerial combat.
Yeah, you should assemble the team.
Yes, Captain. And Dakul's going to go grab some men. Let's see. Let's get definitely Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call them just some red shirts.
Okay. Y'all have 5 red shirts.
I'd say at least 3. Yeah, three red shirts.
Okay, 3 red shirts and Cole. So you're readying a landing party. You yell out for the kind of the deck master. He starts assigning catapults, men to catapults. I mean, there's not too many left, so it's good that you're not trying to man both ballista. And so you get everyone ready, and it looks like you're getting there much faster. You're probably only going to be about 20 minutes out as you're getting all this ready. And you can actually start making out the ships that are moving about. And it is a scene of just like a dogfight. You clearly make out the outline of 3 or 4 Nyogi mine spiders, the smaller vessels, similar to the St. George. Was it St. Vincent or St.
Stephen?
St. Stephen, sorry. There's too many saints. There are 2 sailed ships that look like more human design. You also see a dwarven submersible build. It's a Basilisk class ship. And they are all buzzing around one another in and around Rontame in the city. Hilda, you said you were going for the Sending Stone.
Yes.
Okay, who are you sending?
The head of the Magus Acadium. I can't quite place his name.
Okay, yeah, Monvi.
Yeah, Monvi.
Okay. Yes. Grand Magus Monvi. You send a message. What are you saying?
I'm going to say Grand Magus Monvi. John Rose is en route. What is happening?
Okay. It's about a minute or 2 before he gets back, and a shaken voice, pain in the background of the voice itself. He's like, oh, thank the gods. It's the Nyogi. They're doing something to Rontame around the head. There are other ships over the city. A couple of the buildings have toppled, and they're they've broken loose of their extra dimensional bounds. I don't know how many dead. We're trying to save as many as we can. There's some, and it cuts off.
Okay.
Am I still getting is Dakul still rounding up the party, or could I hear any of that?
Like I said, you had about 20 minutes from the increase in speed. So you had about 20 minutes to get ready as you're approaching. So you're getting them ready. And Hilda was doing the sending stone. Elry and E, are y'all doing anything special to prepare as you're moving in?
Elry was he would go to move towards the crow's nest, and he would stop to turn around to ask permission of Hilda. And as soon as he sees that she's gone, he would ascend to the top of and get ready he has all of his ropes and stuff attached up there. That's his main access point to be able to swing. So he's just getting up and getting ready.
Gotcha. And E404, what are you doing to get prepared?
E is probably just helping out prep whatever needs to be prepped on deck.
Okay. And is there anything else you want to do before we get into the action? And where would you and what is where are you headed?
If I am close to Hilda, I would like to ask if it is possible to consider cloaking the ship, dropping the landing party off. It's just a suggestion. They have many numbers, and we are just one.
I think we need to be careful. I think we need to... The Grand Magus said that they were doing something to Rontame's head, and if Rontame's in danger, then so's everybody. I think we need to save Rontame, if we can.
Okay. And what about, and to Dakul's suggestion about cloaking?
Yeah, I think we should do that. Try to save ourselves the fight until we have to. Okay.
You kind of send that to Ellie, and you hear her just like, aye, Captain. And you kind of feel a shift in the ship itself, and that inky blackness starts at the base of the ropes and works its way up into the sails. And it, in a matter of just moments, the sails are full, just black, and the hull has dimmed its kind of reddish hue a little bit, and you are now you're running dark. And let's see right quick. And are y'all going to try to fly under Rontame, over Rontame, around Rontame? Because y'all are approaching from the rear, as this fight is mostly taking place above and kind of behind Rontame. What's your vector of attack?
As your first mate, I would suggest flying underneath Rontame.
I was thinking the same thing. Is there anybody else has anything to add?
Elry's up top, so he wouldn't be able to hear.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all dip, turn and burn down underneath Rontame. And as you're traveling quickly underneath, you can see the one of the human ships. They're flying, now that you're close enough, you can tell they are flying the colors of the FTL, the blue and white. And so is the Dwarven ship. These are all 3 FTL patrol ships. And one of them, it looks like, that's being teamed up on by 2 Neogi. It looks like it is starting to break up, as it looks like one ship is kind of attached to it. And you can see Umber Hulks like jumping from the Neogi ship onto the FTL. The Dwarven ship kind of bounces off one of the Neogis, breaking a couple of legs of its landing legs. It's made of a little bit sterner stuff, and the other FTL ship is pretty quick, and so it's staying with these smaller mine spiders. You pull underneath Rontame, and you can see as you're pulling underneath it, you see its head jerk once again, like its head and its whole body twitches. And E404, I'm going to need you to make me another charisma save when this happens.
15.
15. Okay. You just make what you need. You almost glitch out, but you manage to fight it away. But again, and now you're underneath it. You see E like go down on one knee, like as that is as much of this kind of freezing of your programming from this immense yell from Rantame as it twitches again, and you're pulling up underneath the ship, and everybody go ahead and give me perception checks as you begin to see something on the horizon.
20.
7.
Okay.
7. Yep.
16.
Well, maybe like Ellie kind of turned upside down, so it's a little harder for Elry to see from the crow's nest, but Captain Hildegard is up front and looking out, and you see over its right eye, kind of up on the side of its head, you see an even larger Neogi ship. You know these to be Death Spiders. It's one that left behind when y'all were on Neros 4. It was the lead ship that y'all never caught up to, and but a similar vessel, that same size and build, is basically tethered itself to Rantame's head. You can see these lines kind of keeping it about 50, 60 feet, kind of hovering over its eye. And you're not really sure, that you don't see any kind of like fire or spell fire or anything shooting at it, but you're drawing closer. What's your plan of attack here?
As your first mate, I would suggest landing far enough away that we will not be detected by the rest of the vessels. Send the landing party and remove that vile ship from Bronte's eye.
I agree. I think we need to cut those lines as quickly as we can. Get the ship detached. If we need to, we can do it with the ship. I'd rather not. Any other ideas, E?
I cannot think of any other than removing the ship from Rotame as quickly as possible.
As of right now, it looks like you see no reaction from the ship whatsoever as you're pulling up. You're kind of pulling up astern of it, and so you're not sure if anybody sees you, but it's not, you don't see any kind of, there's no fire coming at you as you're now just a couple of rounds away. You are moving at a pretty quick clip unless you want Ellie to slow down.
Can we get close enough to board the actual vessel?
So as you're looking at it, you don't see, like, the back of the ship where the main body of it is not open like the Saint Stephen was. Like, that was the kind of the canopy of the back deck was open. This one is kind of encased in what looks like glass, both on top and bottom, like this kind of clear crystal that kind of runs through on both sides. So it looks, I mean, you're not sure if that can be broken, but you don't see an actual like deck to land on as you're approaching this. Of course, y'all didn't have a good shot of, like, way back, first episode when the one was taking off. You didn't really get a good look at it. You could tell that it was bigger than the ship that you boarded. But this one, as you're drawing close to it, is remarkably bigger than the Dawn Rose. Like, it's a beefier ship than y'all's.
With our frame of reference to the big ship, are there any other like satellite ships that can see us or is close enough to see any action that's going on, since we're kind of underneath Brontame?
You don't see any other ships from here.
Okay.
Like looking back, you can occasionally see like one of the FTL ships like dip down below the kind of the horizon of Rontame's body, like the plane of dips down, goes back up, you know, but that's way back at its back. But it looks like it's just you and this Neogi Death Spider.
If we cannot board their ship, maybe we should actually land on Bronteme's Eye and remove the ship from there. How big are these cables? Do they look like they could be like cut with a sword? Or are they like super thick in reference to the size of Bronteme?
I mean, they look like kind of maybe like small like metal cables or like heavy rope. You're not really sure, but they just look like harpoons with like cables, so that the ship is just kind of hovering with its kind of bulbous back body like right over Rontame's eye. And so it's just keeping in place there.
Are there any Neogi-like creatures and or FTL fleet members that are not on the ship that are on Bronteme, like attaching these things? Or
well, I mean, you're at the head. You don't see anybody from the FTL. You don't see any Neogi here. You just see this ship like kind of tethered there. But you know, as you're kind of barreling here and charging towards it, what would y'all like to do?
perhaps we should slow down. Yeah, we could slow down, but we could risk detection, or we can fly in extra fast, drop everyone off, and have the Dawn Rose take shelter somewhere. Where? I don't know.
We have to be careful if we are to land right on Montme, as there is no protection between us and its surface.
Yeah, I mean, and also y'all are a sailing vessel. Y'all don't have any like landing legs or apparatus. So if you landed on Rontame, the ship would probably fall over. Just so you know. I mean, it's not that it couldn't be done, but I'm just saying that it's not what it's meant for.
Right. We have enough of the rigging to repel down to the surface.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
But I mean, if you are going to stop near, you might be detected and fired upon. You're not sure. So what are you going to do right now?
Hilda, you would hear in your ear as a copper wire is in the mouth of Elry. Get me high enough, I'll halo drop.
That is an interesting.
She'll answer, what the fuck is a halo drop?
Well, it's like an angel wears. I don't know. It's too modern, but you're gonna get high enough, and I'm gonna drop down, and they're not gonna see us coming because I'm small.
Okay.
Do you want to go by yourself?
I don't care.
Ooh, okay. Take a red shirt.
They die a lot around me.
I just don't want to see anything bad happen to me.
I don't like carrying red shirts around anymore ever since Xander.
Okay. How about this?
I'm right here. And he's over there like getting spells ready, like he's getting all his components out. I thought we were past this. I thought we had a moment.
Shh.
He stomps off to the
Rest.
Hey man, you've got the way to get back in contact with us. You're the only one that can get there and still let us know what's up with your copper wire. I guess let us know if you need help.
Okay, so this is the moment where I step back away from Elry for a second and remind everyone that Greg doesn't necessarily agree with Elry on everything he decides to do, but okay, back in. I'm back with Elry now.
Okay.
Yeah, drop me off.
Take me with you. And like Cole's like, come on.
Yes, I think you should take call.
It'll be fun.
Hilda, if you would like me here on the ship, I will happily stay until we figured out our next move. However, if you would like Ellery to have one additional hand, I will volunteer my services as well.
Frankly, I'd like to go to make sure he doesn't fucking die. But
I can take us all.
The whole landing party.
No, I can take Call and Utical and the captain and E404 and one. No, that's it.
Oh, Trey says, fuck it, let's do this. But oh.
You
Yeah.
are almost on this ship.
Okay.
I need a decision in 5 seconds.
God.
Hilda sure thinks it's weird that it's always like the top tier crew who go and do the away missions all the fucking time. It reminds her of something, but she doesn't know what. That's in a different universe. But it only makes sense.
It goes against every rule of ship and sea and sky, but it's what always happens.
They were experience hogs. That's all it was.
That's,
They wanted to level up. Everybody
That's
else
why
is just
and Bones and Spock, they were the only PCs on the show. Everyone else was an NPC.
they're all 20th level around a bunch of first level. He stayed at his post when the trainees ran.
He only had 5 hit points, Scotty. God, what did you expect? Anyway.
Got hit by a plasma burst.
Okay, so as y'all are getting close to this this death spider, the Donrose flips on its back, so it's basically inverted to the top of the Neogi ship. And y'all, as it's passing by, jump off and get left behind. As the what were your final orders to Ellie upon jumping?
Look for a signal. If you see a signal, come get us.
At dawn on the third.
Dawn of the third day. Look to the east. Or is it west? Anyway.
Try not to get hit. Try to outmaneuver them and go faster.
Okay, they're not moving, but okay.
If they start moving.
Look for a signal.
I promise, Taku. I promise I won't let you down. And y'all jump off and begin descending quickly because y'all had a lot of speed. And you immediately get caught in the gravity well of both Rontame and then more closely to the Mind Spider itself. And you are falling towards the body, which you can see is just like this crystalline dome of cracked asymmetrical glass, like it was built this way. It looks almost broken, but it's crafted. And you're flying at it at a great speed right now.
Elry's going to take point by kind of bulleting himself as he has his hat kind of wedged on with a chin strap that he is affixed to it. And as he is rocketing towards, he's going to get his gun in one hand and he is going to begin the preparation of a spell with his other. And he's going to stay within 60 feet of his friends. And just before they hit the deck, I'm talking like last second ripcord pull, he hits Featherfall.
Okay. And y'all are getting uncomfortably close as all of a sudden you feel all of the momentum and inertia just disappear, evaporate, and you land within like 30 feet. Like you're at like 27 and a half feet when Elry hit it, and you land on top. And immediately looking over this beast of a ship, it is well over probably 120, 140 feet from stem to stern. And you're standing on the bulbous body of it on this crystalline dome, and looking down, you can see things moving. Hang on. Yeah, you see things moving and like excited, like pointing. It's hard to tell, but you can definitely make out the multi-legged structure of Neogi moving about the deck underneath you. And you think maybe they have spotted you. What you also see are at the four corners of this ship, cables coming out from the body, the main body, and sticking on all sides of Rontame's eye. And as you're sitting here, you then look and you see the immensity of Rontame's eye and this giant eyelid like shutting and opening. And when it shuts, you can kind of see something like hit it, and its eye flicks back open a little bit. You're not sure if it was like a smaller, like a crossbow or ballista, or you're not. It's hard to tell from up here, but something hits it, and you see some small, tiny wounds in its eyelid. Looks like they're causing it to keep its eye open. But that is the scene that you see right now. Where are you headed?
In this moment, I would like to take a quick, the fastest bit of meditation that I can do, like a combat meditation, and just see if I can hear or feel anything, since I have had a familiar connection with the species before.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. Yeah. You see Dakul kind of close his eyes, and Dakul, you almost think you hear a chittering laughter before it just kind of vanishes. A very familiar chittering.
Something about this is quite familiar.
And kind of creepy. It was so creepy it ran Emma off the stream.
I'll share that information with everybody. Just it's a bit of uneasiness. They feel as if they know we are here.
Certainly does.
What is my captain? Oh, she has disappeared. All right. How far are we to the closest cables?
You're closer to the cables at the rear. There's one. If you're just standing there looking at the front of the ship, there's one kind of behind you over here, about 40 feet that way. And you're more to the left of center of the ship, and then the other one is probably like 60 feet back over here. So you're like I said, the front of the ship is pretty far away, but you could run over the top of this ship all the way up there. Be a little arduous where kind of the bulbous body and the head meet. You would have to make kind of a climb check.
Okay. Dakul will head in that direction. Captain, I am going to start by tearing down some of the cables.
Please do. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll take off. And should I roll because of the gritty terrain?
So you're moving towards the front?
No, the back, the closest cables.
Oh no, back here. No, you don't need a check here. I was just saying if you move to the front of the ship, you will have to make an athletics to kind of move down this. It's a downward slope down to the smaller head. So you just kind of need to keep your footing.
Okay, well, I'll deal with the cables that are closest to us, the ones right by us. And
okay. Yeah, you could get right over the edge of the ship and get to it. Dakul, you could get there in a move action, like I said.
Okay, and that is the action Dakul will take.
Okay.
Move action and then attack the cable.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll to attack. I mean, it's just to see if you get a crit. Screw that. Just roll damage.
Okay.
It's an inanimate object. It's a cable.
All right. Whoop! Fell off the thing. 8.
Okay.
8.
Yeah, you begin cutting it, and it looks like this is some kind of woven, like it's a metal cable, and you cut into it. It's going to take a couple more hacks, though.
Okay.
Is anybody else going to one of the other ones while Dakul moves off to do that?
Elry will go with E if they are going to take one out. Elry will go for backup, but he is going to hide as he does so.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is heading towards one of those cables.
Okay. So E, you're moving. The other one is about 60 feet away, so it's going to take you a couple of moves to get over there. Hilda, what are you doing as you're standing there?
I'm going to stay equidistant between Elry and Dakul if I can.
Okay. So just kind of in the center mass of this crystalline dome of the body.
Yep, I'm gonna try to just keep a lookout on everything that's going on. Make sure my crew members are safe.
And we have Cole with us, right?
Yes, you do have Cole with you.
Can Cole go with DeCool? That way we're 2, Hilda, and 2.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm on it. And he runs over there, and he falls over there and just he starts punching like the attachment where the rope or the cable is attached to the side of the ship. He's trying to. Looks like he's trying to break the bracket. Looks like it won't take too long with you and DeCool, you and him going after it. So E404 and Elry, you get over there and go ahead and give me some damage rolls with whatever you're doing to damage this thing.
Elry's going to pull out his pistol.
All right.
Yeah, and E's just gonna warhammer out the and try to get right the attachment.
Be 6 for Elry as he puts it up and
Okay.
shoot.
E404.
And 10 for a single hit.
Okay. Thank you, Tweeter of Vecna, for the sub. So yeah, it looks like Elry, you shoot it and you send the cable like takes a hit, pretty hard one. E comes down, hitting the fitting. And after another round of just like hammering on this thing, y'all break loose the rear, and so the ship is kind of unmoors just a bit, but the front is still attached. But at least the bulk of the body kind of moves away from Rontame. As that happens, and the ship just kind of the nose of the ship tips more towards the eye, you can get a better view of the eye, and you see this enormous eye where the pupil itself is twice the size of this ship. And like this pupil kind of comes down and looks right at y'all. And there's this large blink closed and then open. Rontame kind of like levels out a little bit. You could tell it was kind of like turned up, and he levels out a little bit. And that is that.
Pruitt, can I try something? Can I try something real quick?
Yeah.
Elry's going to flip the copper wire up into his mouth, and he's going to point at the eye, and he's going to say, "Don't worry, big fella. We're coming."
Okay. Can you give me a charisma save?
That's what we call in the biz, Pruitt, a nat 20.
Oh, really? Okay. Elry, you say, we're coming. And then you just hear this in your mind. It feels like it's trying to push your brain down your neck into your chest cavity. That's how much force this will is as the response comes, "Thank you." Except it seems like it lasts for like an hour, like just those two words. Fuck! But you manage to keep your feet as E's kind of standing there looking at you, and you're like, "Oh, that's what it looks like." And Elry's eyes kind of flutter, and he looks disjointed for a bit. Looks like normally when you pull him out of a brothel, what he kind of looks like. Yeah, I mean his.
It's not like an unusual.
Right. So anyway, where are y'all headed now?
I have one other question. Does it look like there are any type of like ballista or firing apparatus that was used to launch these harpoons into Rontame?
Yes. As you were down on the side looking, you could kind of see on the side of the ship, and there are holes, and you now see like new ballista pushing out each side and like pointing back down towards Rontame. As the ship is now kind of like you kind of feel the energy of the Nyogi ship itself kind of thrum back to life, and it starts to right itself a little bit, and the kind of the ass end of the ship starts pulling back down kind of parallel with the eye. And yeah, you see the points of these ballista come out and start aiming back down on either side of the beast's eye. So let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
13.
Okay, DeCool's got a 13.
16 for Elry.
E
14.
and Hilda.
16. I said it first.
You actually cut out. I actually couldn't make out what you said.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
No worries. All right. Okay. All right. So y'all see the Dawn Rose kind of turn and bank and start wheeling back around a little bit. Elry and Hilda, y'all go at the same time. You can go however you want in that order.
Well, okay, Pruitt, this is the time of the show where I propose something.
I'm ready.
And okay. So you're saying that the ballista are aiming themselves to fire.
Well, you can only see the nose of the ballista. It looks like where this is, as you're kind of like, y'all basically had to kind of crawl around the dome of this almost to kind of mid deck, right? So it looks like this is one deck below the deck you can see. And as you're moving down here, by the way, you can see, looks like bulky figures moving towards the front of that bulb. Looks like there may be a door that leads out on top of this ship. But one deck below, there's just like a port window that opens, kind of slides open. Probably 2x3. It's big enough to kind of move around, but the point of the ballista just kind of sticks out and starts aiming down. And you can tell it's like a jagged harpoon tip, meant to really like sink in.
Okay, great. So I can see it though, and we've stated before that the narrative, you can kind of run on the outside of these ships because of the okay.
Yep.
You remember when we found those crystals that explode?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I would like Elry to run down and place one of those on the harpoon tip, and he's going to run back, and as he's running away, he's going to shoot and blow it up. Hopefully.
Okay, so you are going to try to hit this crystal that's on the harpoon tip.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then you run down and place it, and then you run back. And I'm going to say, since this is kind of a called shot, it's going to be a disadvantage. But you can give it a go. Because, I mean, the crystal is like that big, I mean, it's tiny.
Okay. How about this? Okay. I set it down and I take like 3 steps away and I shoot and hope that evasion saves my ass.
Okay. Well, then yes, I can say you can shoot it point blank without advantage. Yes, okay. You can do that. If you'll recall, what happened to DeCool being in the proximity of those things.
Yeah. That's just.
Go for it.
Okay, that is 11 plus 7 is 18.
Oh yeah, that hits it. Give me that damage, yo. See if you crack this baby.
Do I get sneak attack? That harpoon had no idea I was coming.
Sure, it's an inanimate object, but whatever. Yeah.
Well, first off, it's 10 just straight. 6, 9, 12. So 22?
22? Okay, yeah. You run down, you kind of put the crystal there, and you're moving back, and you shoot the thing point blank. And it's a similar sensation and sound. There's a definite pop, a rushing of energy. Go ahead and make me a dexterity save. Is this?
That is a 17 plus a 7 for a 24.
Okay. So you managed to kind of you basically kind of jump and let the energy wave, instead of fighting it, you let it just kind of push you. You just kind of ride it like a, like a concussive wave.
I just Mission Impossible.
Yeah. But the thing is you feel like, remember, it explodes out and then sucks back in. You feel that also. And you kind of put your feet down and stop yourself from getting sucked back in. But it was 23 damage. And go ahead. So that was 23 damage, but you pass the save, so that's half. And you know, you can of course evasion that. Or no, I mean you have evasion, so you don't take
evasion.
my bad. See, I keep forgetting about evasion with you. So yeah, you don't take any of that. But yeah, it's an odd feeling as you kind of like feel yourself. It's almost like a riptide or an undertow, where you get pushed and then pulled back a little bit. And you're like, whoop, nope. But the whole side of the ship with the harpoon is now gone, and there is a perfect circle opened in the side of the deck. About, you know, it looks like the first deck underneath the ship. It's about 10 feet in diameter, and there are definite bestial cries of alarm and anger, and you hear like clacking of mandibles from down there also.
Get fucked, spiders!
Hilda, it is your turn. And she had, is that everything? Yeah, you placed the thing with your bonus, shot it. Yeah, you're good. Hilda.
Okay, so I'm between DeCool and Ellery right now. I'm not really near any of these cables, am I?
No, the nearest cable that's not cut is the 2-4, like at the front of the ship, and that's a good like 80 feet up near the front, like right at the front of the ship.
She's going to. I think what she's going to do is she is going to cast a what's it called, that thing that she does. That's not the one thing; it's the other thing that she does sometimes.
Spirit Guardians or Spirit Weapon?
Spiritual weapon, except I can't find it, so I think maybe I didn't take it, and that's a problem. So she's not going to do that, and she's thinking about other things to do right now. And she's still thinking because she thought she was going to do that, and now it's not on her list. She's going to get closer to Ellery then, I think. Or she's just going to cast Spirit Guardians and just have it.
Okay. Are you moving either side?
She's going to move a little closer to Ellery than DeCool.
Okay. So you move 25 feet closer to Ellery. You're a little under halfway over there where Ellery and E are. And that makes it E's turn as you see Ellery kind of scamper down about 10 feet, and there's this explosion, and now there's a hole in the side of the ship, and you see Hilda kind of moving towards you.
Do I see another one of these ballista points within my walking range?
No, you're kind of y'all kind of moved around to one side, and DeCool and Cull are on the other side. And then there are the two at the very front of the ship. So you don't see anything within walking range. And you looking around, you do not see any more port windows that could be opened.
Okay. And is this wire released yet?
Oh no, this one's gone.
Okay.
It literally. I mean, y'all had broken it, and that's what caused new harpoons to come. These things that open up and new harpoons to come out.
Okay.
So Ellery has neutralized the first of these that we're trying to reestablish the tether for the rear of the ship. And the ship, it does kind of list a little bit from the explosion, like you kind of feel the ship shift just a little bit.
Do I have any form of sight on the closest one to me that's at the very front of the ship?
No, you don't have sight on it. It's kind of on the other side of the bulb of the back of this Neogi spider, or death spider.
Okay. I'm going to start heading that way then.
Like 10 feet away.
Sorry, what?
I said there's a hole that goes into the ship like 10 feet away.
There is. He's not going to do that yet. So they're going to head in the direction of the one that's towards the front of the ship, so over the...
Okay, so you're going to just start bounding kind of around the side of the ship, heading towards the front. And what's your speed?
My speed now is 40.
40. Okay, so yeah, it was about 80 feet away. So you move. I'll say this: you're at the end of your first move, and you're kind of working your way around the bulb of the ship, and where it meets kind of ahead. You can see through the glass that there are stairs going up, and the door is opened, and it looks like an Umber Hulk is coming out on the top of the ship, and you're now moving within view of it.
Fuck.
I need to know what you do right now as you see this Umber Hulk, but before you can really make it out fully, what is your next thing that you do?
I am going to stop. And I am going to transform my left arm into the arm cannon, and I'm going to hold my action until that motherfucker is able to be shot, or if
Okay.
it sees me.
Okay. So you're holding your action until it sees you. Alrighty. Dakul, it is your turn. You see, much like the other side, y'all had cut the cable. See this panel open up. A harpoon comes out and starts taking aim as you feel the shift in the ship from the other side, and a pop, an explosion, yeah.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, can I see the other harpoon at the front of the ship from where I am standing?
Yes. Looking up at the front, you can see where the kind of underneath the head of the ship, there's two cables. They're a little closer together, but yeah, you can see the one on your side. We'll just say you're on the starboard side,
Okay.
just because. Actually, no, you went first, so you're on the port. Sorry, you're on the port side. They're on the starboard side. Yes, you can. Sorry.
Okay, and that's about 150. You said it was like around 150 feet away. Those cables.
It's like you're not at the complete back of the ship, so it's only like 80 or 90 feet away, and it's not like right at the front of the ship. It's underneath, but like 80, 90 feet away.
Okay.
You do see a harpoon, like, right in front of you, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Cole to take care of the harpoon coming out of the ship since he's the closest to it, and I'm gonna take my longbow and shoot the tether at the front of the ship if it's 90 feet away.
Okay.
And I get 2 actions. First one, what's that? 12. So many go. Dirty 20. I'll take that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's the first one. The damage is 7. Oh, plus I get the 2 for the braces of archery, so that's 9. 9 damage. I'm gonna shoot again if it's still intact. I'm assuming the rope is still intact. Okay. 17. Does that hit?
That's hit. That hits.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. I love you. That's 8 plus 2. That's 10 more damage.
So it's a total of how much?
The first one was 10, and the second one was 10, and the first one was what? What was that? Was that a
9?
9? Yeah, so 19 then total.
Okay. You see, it's almost completely cut through.
All right, and shoot. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll spend a key point for the Kinsey shot. Oh no, that's not an extra attack. I'm sorry. I've gone through all my attacks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone through attacks.
Well, just remember for your ranged attacks, if you say you want to do that, it adds a D4 damage.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. But that's okay. I'll take those 2 attacks, and then I'm waiting for Cole to finish or start beating the brakes off of the one coming out of the hole.
Okay. It is now my turn, and the harpoon shoots off beneath you to cool. Wow. And it does not find purchase. It shoots wide, maybe because of the explosion, kind of rocked it off, and you see it kind of fly and skip off of Rantame's skin. And quickly you see the tether like released, and like all of a sudden there's just, it flies free, like they just let it go. And you can hear the sounds of reloading of the ballista. That kind of happens there. Also, around the front, E, you're sitting there kind of with your cannon arm out, and the Umber Hulk begins to walk up the center of the ship. And so it's above you by about 30, 40 feet. So fortunate for you, kind of at the angle that you're at, you're looking up at it, so you can't actually see its head, but you can see it.
Cool. I'ma shoot it.
Shoot that.
Wait. How did this exactly work again? For it, you have to remind me.
It's a ranged attack. You add your dex to it, and I believe it's 2d10 plus your dex for damage.
Okay.
Force damage. And thank you, Gemsong RS, for that, for the bits.
Okay, 17.
Okay. You got a 17 to hit Monsieur Umber Hulk. Yeah, your bolt kind of like glances off of its chitinous exterior, and it looks like it doesn't really hit.
God damn it. Can I? Yep.
You have to attack, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I don't do that one attack hold action bullshit.
All right, dirty 20.
You held your action. Yes, you did. Your action is 2 attacks. So
10 points of freaking arm cannon to that fucking Umber Hulk.
10 points?
Yes.
Alrighty. So you blast the Umber Hulk. Almost dumped my dice everywhere. You blast the Umber Hulk with your cannon, and you catch it high on the shoulder, and it like clicks its mandibles together and like turns and looks at you. You are, like I said, you're like, looks like you're about a little over 30 feet away, so you are just outside of its range for its gaze. And then it turns after attacking and uses the last of its movement and starts walking towards you. So can I get a charisma check as it begins advancing towards you?
Okay, I need to retire this die today. This fucking nat 1. Goodbye. This, okay.
Okay. Go ahead and never mind. But you feel odd. Your circuits are all backwards and fried, and you're trying to send signals to your arm and your hand cannon, and everything's coming back. Everything's been looped back on a feedback loop or something. You are confused. And so that's the end of that. They went back around to the top. Cull, immediately he kind of moves down to this open port and reaches in and starts like grabbing and like pulling on the like, it looks like he's trying to rip the ballista out of its mount or something. You're not really sure, but he starts screaming and frothing in rage and begins like pulling the he's doing something down there. You see the Dawn Rose again kind of swing back, and it looks like it's just kind of doing circuits around to keep the crew, like you see them you see some of the people have the rifles that y'all found, y'all commandeered from the fucking ears, and it looks like they're getting ready, but they're just kind of, the Dawn Rose is just kind of running a circuit around the Neogi for right now. Back to you, Hilda and Elry.
Okay, so this thing has closed now on E404 and myself.
Well, no. Remember, E started moving towards the front of the ship. You were still back at the hole. So He's 40 feet and kind of around the side of the ship. It's now from the top moving down to meet them.
So I'm behind it.
It kind of, it's not looking at you. So, and you're well out of range. I mean, y'all kind of remember from the last time y'all faced one of these things. It's only about 30 feet. Y'all kind of figure that out near the end of the fight. It's about 30 feet, and so you're well out of the range of this thing. But yes, you could easily move to attack it. It doesn't seem to have seen you. It looked like it was heading towards Hilda. Like Hilda, you saw this thing start to come up and then get hit and turn and make a left and start heading towards E.
Pruitt, would you say that this is, we're in space. So would you say that this is a well-lit area, or would you say that this was kind of a dim, shadowy, middle of space type of area that I'm picturing?
Well, I mean, though, that if you remember when you first came to Rantame, the whole thing is since there is no sun burning here, the ambient starlight seems to provide a little bit more light, and it kind of bounces off of Rantame and is reflected. But since y'all are technically on this side of a ship that is kind of eclipsing Rantame, it is a little darker on this side. I would say it's close to dim light.
Close is close enough.
Yes.
So as he reaches back, he's going to pull his gun, and because he has always wanted to be a Jedi, he closes his empty fist, and a black energy blade erupts from his closed fist, leaps up into the air. He looks at the Umber Hulk and cracks his store neck that E404 gave him, and he says, "All right, you beetle fucker. When I met you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." And he runs up and attacks.
Okay. By all means.
Now, here's the thing. I have an advantage to this attack with my lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have it going into it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're making the attack in dim light.
That is a 17. A 17.
17 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It is just short of its AC. Remember how it was very hard to hit these things. They have thick hides, and your shadow blade kind of like hits it, and it looks like it feels it, but it doesn't quite find purchase.
Well, shit. And he just sits there because that was all he had.
It certainly was. Okay. Hilda, you see Elry bravely ignite what looks like some kind of laser sword or
some other fucking Elry thing that Elry does.
Cutlass. I don't know. Certainly nothing copywritten. And so, what would you like to do?
How far away is Hilda from this thing?
She's about 40 feet.
40 feet. Okay. She's going to 40 feet. She's going to move towards it, her full move, which will put her 15 feet away from it, which will put it right on the border of her spiritual guardians. So it needs to make a save. DC some amount. DC, I believe it's a 16 wisdom save. And she has to take.
Okay.
All right. So it needs to take. It'll take 10 or half that of radiant damage. As actually, I think it would be more towards necromantic damage. Is lovely, but it's also dead at the same time. Necrotic damage.
Gotcha.
Yes, as all of these people who are building they were building like caskets and stuff, and they eventually start like picking up pickaxes and torches, and it's like a very like Frankenstein theme, and they start to try to beat the shit out of this Umber Hulk. And I have to close the chat again. Grant.
It's getting pretty weird.
It's getting weird. So that was her movement, and she's going to cast a 2nd level guiding bolt as her action. So boop. She needs to do this thing. Does an 18 hit?
18 just hits.
Oh, good. Okay. I need a lot of D6s.
All the D6s.
Yes. If only I had tiny dice from tabletop loot, this would take me slightly less time.
Wait, I thought. Never mind. I thought
What?
I thought it was D8s. I'm probably wrong.
Is it D8s? It says D6.
Well, I'm wrong. Don't worry.
Yeah. I should have just said, you're right, Pruitt, but I didn't.
I mean, I appreciate your honesty. It warms the cockles of my heart.
It wouldn't have happened a few years ago.
Not at all.
So 13 radiant damage.
Okay, so it takes 13 radiant, and next attack has.
It's it's all glittery.
Okay, so yeah, you hit this thing kind of again. It's turned away from you, so you catch it kind of high on the shoulder and the side of the head, and there's just this kind of luminescence that comes off of it and clings to it for a second, showing a perfect spot to strike. Which it is now. Is that it for you? For anything for your bonus?
No, nothing.
Cool. All right, that brings it around to E404, as there is a Umber Hulk all up in your business, and you need to roll a D8. As I just remembered that, yeah, you're confused.
A 3.
You rolled a 3?
Yep.
Yeah, y'all see as E has a perfect shot on this thing, and E just stands there and stares, unmoving. Yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, moving on to next person in initiative, which is Dakul.
Yes, I see that it is still hanging on by a thread up top. Now, it's if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 lines going out towards Brontome eyes. It's not just one. It's not just one at the stern, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said that right. The stern of the ship. It's 2, right?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say that again.
How many of those lines are going from the stern of the ship to Rontome's eye? Is it just 1 or?
No, there are 2 in the front.
Okay, so
Y'all severed the both in the back, the aft of the ship.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the first one with my long bow. I'm taking 2 shots, and I'm going to be using my my Kinsey shot as well.
All right, go ahead.
All right. 16. Is that it?
Yeah, a 16 will just hit the kind of the mechanism. That's
all right. Cool. 12. 12 damage for the first hit.
Okay, that breaks the mount that's holding the cable.
Uh-huh.
Cable comes free. So now there's only 1 cable tethering this ship to Rontome.
Yes, and with that second shot, he's going to move his bow ever so slightly over and fire again at the second cable.
Okay, so if you're going to be firing at the cable itself, because you were kind of firing at the mount, which had a little bit bigger of a profile from the ship, so it was a little bit easier of a target, but this is going to be made at disadvantage because you're trying to hit a rope on the other side of the ship, like right at the limit of your range.
Shit. Well, I'm gangster with it. We're going for it.
Do it.
16 and a 10, so a 16 and an 8 is 24.
How much?
24, so that should hit.
Yeah.
All right, and the damage. It is another 12. Oh, plus the 2 for the. And so that's 14 for the second.
And don't forget you get an extra D4 for your Kinsey shot.
14. 7. Yeah, so that's 1 and no, I'm sorry. That's a 6.
Okay, so what's that all totaled up?
God damn it. What was the last one? It was 12 and 12, 6. Was that what it was?
12
Yeah,
6,
so
18?
yeah,
Okay.
18.
You hit the line, and you tell, like, with that one shot, you almost pierced it all the way through. But it's still barely hanging on.
Okay.
Now, did you use any of your move before you shot? Did you move?
No.
Okay, so you still have your move. You can hear the sounds of battle coming from kind of the other side of the body, because you're on the left side moving forward. On the other side of the body, and you can kind of make out through the crystal dome. It's hard to see because you're looking through this side and the other side. But you can see it looks like there's your crewmates have encountered something on the outside. They're battling something.
Oh shit!
But it's hard to make out.
Can I see with the progress that Cull has made? I mean, does it look like he's pulling the whole cannon out, or is he just pulling out just the harpoon? Like, what kind of damage is it look like he's trying to do?
You saw him like pull something like metal and wooden out and throw it, and he's reaching in and grabbing just pieces of the ballista.
Okay.
And there's like screaming and clacking, and he's not looking in there. He's just like reaching and just grabbing and just so he's. I mean, there hasn't been another ballista loaded.
I'm going to use my movement and hit the shortest distance to get to my friends.
Okay, so just kind of moving up. So yeah, I mean, you can move your full 40 feet, and you'll be about, you just crest the top of the ship, and you can look down, and within a move is an Umber Hulk. It's back to you. E is standing right in front of it. You can see kind of between its legs. Elry is right at its side in melee with it. Hilda is about 15 feet away. Her spirit guardians are doing their work.
And how far away is he from me now that I've closed the distance?
About 30 feet away.
About 30 feet away. Okay.
But that's
it.
Action bonus. Yeah, action bonus move. All right. My turn. So in a target-rich environment, it reaches down and tries to bite you, E, as you are kind of just standing there. Its mandibles just come forward and snap at you. Wow. And it still misses. Its mandibles like hit your body, but they can't. It bites you at an angle where it can't really like grab on. And then it turns and looks. Where were y'all looking when y'all ran up on this thing?
All of us?
Elry and Hilda.
Well, narratively, I mean, he attacked without disadvantage, so I was definitely looking at it.
Okay. All right. So it turns its gaze on you. Oh, that only works on. Never mind. That's on the start of y'all's turn. So, but it turns on you, Elry, and takes a slash with its claw. Does a 15 hit you?
Hell no.
Okay. And then it swipes again, and that's even less. So it takes 2 lumbering swipes. Both
You're a lumber Hulk.
A lumber Hulk, yes. I'm just imagining like an Umber Hulk in like a plaid shirt with a little hat on. He's eating pancakes.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's doing. Anyway, so that's the end of that. It looks like Cull is meeting some resistance, and Hilda, you and Elry both hear from behind you. It sounds like something is moving up, like trying to move outside that giant hole that Elry put in the side of the ship. As you see another like set of clawed hands come out, looks like another Umber Hulk.
God damn it.
You're 8th level. Come on. Top of the round. Cull continues his bashing, and unless y'all tell him to do something different, he's lost in the bloodlust. The Dawn Rose makes a pass near the ship, and a couple blasts come out. And one actually hits the Umber Hulk that is climbing out of the side of the ship as your crewmates. Okay. And it takes a hit from one of the rifles as it's kind of climbing out of the ship. Back to you, Hilda and Elry. Start of your turn. Do you avert your eyes from it?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So you kind of look down. You're just kind of like looking at its feet. So it's hard to make out, anything else. So both of y'all, it's your turn. In whatever order you would like.
Can it make a wait, at the beginning of its turn, it needs to make a DC 16 wisdom save.
Okay, it failed that save. How much damage?
Let me see.
We'll just go ahead and take care of that right now.
Yeah. 12.
12? All righty. All right. So it is y'all's turn.
Okay, so with his head down, Elry is going to use his lightsaber and kind of above his head. As this is, or if you rule it to be dim, I would get advantage on it normally. So it's just a straight roll then for me.
Yep. And you do have an ally in melee with it.
It doesn't matter, as I rolled a 14.
Ooh. Alrighty. So you don't manage to make a solid hit on it, Hilda.
For my bonus, I'm going to disengage.
Sorry.
I'm going to disengage and back up just a little bit, get out of melee with it.
Okay. So you back up. You'll see Elry kind of back away, just like nope. Hilda.
Hilda walks right up there.
All right, you walk right up there.
So walk right up there, and she will try to just hit it with her hammer.
Give it a go.
That's what she's doing. She did not hit it with her hammer.
All right, you swing wild.
Got an 8. Yes.
Anything with a bonus?
No, nothing with a bonus.
Gotcha. All right, moving on. Well, okay, never mind. It would have been the same thing. It doesn't matter because you still had that. I forgot you had that guiding bolt on it, but Elry already gets advantage, so it doesn't matter. They don't stack. E404. Now that you have faculties about yourself, do you avert your eyes from this hulking monstrosity?
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Okay. Well, it's standing next to you, but it has turned its attention to your more diminutive crewmates.
So as I avert my eyes, so I just have to avert it away from its face, correct?
Yes, I mean, but the act of doing so makes it where you have to make sure none of your peripheral has it in view. So you still get disadvantage on normal attacks against it unless you have something to offset that.
Okay. I'll attack recklessly. I'm gonna fucking
Okay.
try to hit this thing, god damn it.
All right. So you avert your eyes and recklessly attack, making normal attacks. Go right ahead.
First one is that's gonna be a miss, 16. Second one though is a 22.
22 definitely hits.
All right. And that's 10 points of damage.
All right. 10 points of damage it is. That's it. Bonus action, anything?
Isn't it a bonus action to avert?
No. That's just, you just look away.
Okay. My friends are there. No, not yet.
Okay.
No.
It is now DeCool's turn.
Yes. So that wire is hanging on by a thread, huh? I will
Yes.
we'll close that problem out real quick. Still going to take another shot at it. At disadvantage. Let's see. Hey, can I use precise strike as a Kinsey technique?
Remind me what that is.
Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Sorry, give me half a second. It's sugar. That's why you have to be prepared, Mr. Murphy. You know what? It's it doubles. You use it once per short rest, and it doubles the proficiency bonus. Get it at level 6. Shoot, sorry. Yeah, focus my attention on a single target. As a bonus action, you pick up one creature you see within 30 feet. Next weapon attack makes you, during the attack, adds double your proficiency bonus to the attack roll rather than your normal proficiency bonus. You can only use it once until I finish a short rest or long rest.
Okie dokie.
So I just wanted to use that for on top of the rolling with disadvantage.
Sure thing.
All right. One's a 10 and a 7. Wonderful. 7 and 8 is 15. Oh, no. 7 and 8. Efficiency. 7 and 6 is 13 plus the initiative. That's 18. So
18
yep.
hit.
18 hits, yes. And 8. 5 and 8 is 13 plus the 2 is 15.
Okay, yeah, your arrow pierces the rope.
Yes.
And the last harpoon that was tethering this the death spider, comes loose. And yeah, so there you go.
No, I still have one more action.
You still have one more attack on your attack.
Yes, one more attack. Yes. The Umber Hulk is about 30 feet away. I'm going to use Fairy Fire. I have to close 10 feet of distance to make it 20 feet. So I'm going to use my motion for 10 feet to get about to make the 20 feet close the gap, and use Fairy Fire on the Umber Hulk.
Oh, I think the range on Fairy Fire is much longer. It's a 20-foot area.
Oh, 20-foot radius. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So Fairy Fire.
Okay. Do you try to not hit your friends?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pose that question this one time since you didn't stipulate.
Yes.
But yes. So that's what is that? A dexterity save?
Yes.
And what's your DC?
16.
What is it? Okay. I got a 15. The Umber Hulk is lit up in as DeCool. You want to?
I call this the Hulk of all smoke.
And DeCool lets out a gout of smoke that clings to the Umber Hulk and draws your attacks into where it is. And that is the end of DeCool's turn. It is now my turn.
Make a DC 16 wisdom save.
All right. How much damage?
17.
Damn. Okay. So yeah, this thing does not look happy. It looks pretty haggard. Your pitchfork wielding, torch wielding, kind of pale, gaunt, I would assume, peasants.
Oh, I forgot. They all look like Ledbetter and Lorne and Hamilton.
So
And all the other people on the ship who've died.
So your fallen crewmates, including Hamilton, who has a tiny little pickaxe. Actually, no, he's the same size since you see Hellion all the time. So he's about large dog, like a little bit bigger than maybe like a pit bull. Not quite large, but, you know, bigger medium. And he's got like his little teeth. In his teeth, he's got like a torch, and he goes up and he's biting, and Ledbetter is lacing into him. And it's starting to wear down this Umber Hulk. But it does turn and attack you, Hilda. It turns its full attention on you since you have this energy that is tearing at it. So that's going to be, it reaches down to bite you. That's 14. I know that's not going to hit. And then it slashes with 2 claws. Does a 19 hit you?
A 19 does hit.
Okay, so he hits and he crits on you with both claws. So you're going to take 9 and 18. So that is, that's 27 damage.
Ooh.
Both claws just rake you across the head and shoulders, and you like maybe cuts you right across the bridge of the nose. Little blood sprays across. The other Umber Hulk it's finally climbing out and is starting to move towards y'all, but they aren't as fast. So it is moving up behind you though. Next, we are back around. Cole, you hear Cole yelling, and the yelling is coming closer. It looks like he's charging at the other Umber Hulk. He's not going to quite get there, but he's almost to it. He's on like an intercept course as you kind of like turn around and look. The Dawn Rose looks like they're swinging around for another pass, and another strafe of laser fire comes down, rains down on this closing Umber Hulk, and a couple of them actually hit. Wow. And they score a couple of really good hits, actually. It takes a few hits on its head and a shoulder. And now it is Hilda and Elry's turn. Elry, you kind of backed up, so this thing's maybe a little closer to you. But it is your turn, sir.
He would go in, and let me ask this question. With the fairy fire that's up, if he attacks with his rapier that doesn't have advantage, would that give him advantage? And then subsequently reduce it to regular attack because he's not looking?
I mean, yes, it's that where you're making a regular attack because you're not.
Okay, so yeah. All right. So he's going to come in, and sensing that this thing is getting beat up, he's going to go in with the intent to stay in range and not disengage. So he's going with his rapier for the first attack, which would just be a straight. That is a natural 20. I don't know if I can. Hold on.
Greg, I wholeheartily trust you. But I mean, if you
I know, but I think everybody likes to take a look at one of those every once in a while.
Oh, look at that beautiful thing! I love how it's like lined up to the camera, like on display already.
I turned my track. Okay, so that's D8, which is 5, 5, 10. That's 15, and my sneak attack. Oh my God, 2 6s. So 12, 24. And 4, 4, 8, 32. What was the first one I said?
15.
14. 15. That is 47 damage as he comes in with his rapier and drives it up. He takes the rapier and uses it to climb up the Umber Hulk as he slips it between 2 plates, piercing through what would be the lungs of this beast. Mm-hmm. And as he pierces it, and the creature begins to kind of clitter and pop open its lower mandibles and lets the blood drip out, he comes up and looks it right in the eyes and waves the lightsaber in front as they begin to dim, and he'll say, "Are you confused yet, big boy?" as he rides it down.
Yes, that's exactly what Elry does as he climbs it up, and you start to feel that confusion like hit you, but it quickly falls back as the light leaves this thing's eyes, and it straight back, just hits. And actually you hear the glass crack a little bit. This crystal that you are standing on, it cracks just a little. But this thing just is laying flat dead. One is charging up behind you.
As the for narrative effect, as he hits and the fairy fire of Dakul peels off of it like the precious smoke that it is, Elry is going to go, "That's what I call campfire."
And yeah, Kiana's dead. Everybody mark that on your Starward Bound bingo. Kiana has died. All right. So that's the end of your action. Yes. Hilda, what do you do?
Are we aware of the other one?
Oh, you can hear it. It's like, and you can hear Call screaming to run after it also.
All right.
But yeah, you're well aware of the encroaching new foe.
All right. I will say under my breath, that was really fucking intense, Ellery. And she will turn around and try to find this other thing and see how far away it is.
It's well within a move action.
Okay, great. I will move up to it. I'm going to try not to look directly in its face.
Okay.
I'm going to... It needs to make a DC 16 wisdom save as well.
All right. It does make this save.
Okay, so it takes half of... It takes half of 16, so it takes 8.
8 damage.
And I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at it.
Alrighty.
I'm going to try to anyway.
Another save, right?
Yes, a Dex saving throw, DC 16.
It fails that.
Oh, good. So it takes... It takes 20 radiant damage as this crazy flame just like, I think she just like shoots it with her hammer still.
Okay.
Just emerges and hits this thing and dissolves into a big sparkly mess.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you like you catch one of the pitchforks with your hammer and spark at its face.
Yeah.
Catches it fully in the eyes. All right, so you do that damage. E404. A new enemy has emerged.
Yep. Okie dokie. E is going to rage because they're not happy with any of this. So they're gonna, well, first they're gonna run up onto that new enemy.
Okay. So you kind of backtrack a bit from the direction you were headed, head back towards the aft of the ship, and you rage. I believe the only one around you would be Hilda.
All right, flame. So
Flame on.
flaming on. Okay, so that is 3 points. So fire damage.
Okay.
And that hammer is gonna come out and play with a 17.
17 does not hit.
God damn it. Okay.
These things are annoying.
Second one is a 24 though.
24 does hit.
All right. And that will be 8 points of damage to the face.
How much?
8
points. Alrighty. Yeah, you come up and crack it right in the head, and one of its mandibles kind of breaks off. There's a bit of like kind of greenish blood that comes out of its mouth with spittle. It's like and clicking angrily at you. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. On to Dakul. Dakul.
He's still alive. Our Umber Hulk friend. How far away is he from me?
He's not that far away from you. You were like right on top of this, so I mean, he's a move action for you away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna close the distance and pull out my sword. I'm going to do my 2 attacks plus my
you are
flurry of blows.
You are averting your eyes, yes?
Oh shoot! Yeah, how many feet away is he? He's like 20. Is he past 30?
He was just outside of 30 feet away from you, but
okay. Nah, I'm not gonna run in there and attack. I'm gonna use my bow.
Okay.
Because I've got distance on him. I'm gonna take my 2 shots plus my Kinsey shot. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
So yeah, you're just outside, so you make those attacks nice and normal.
Yeah. First roll. 12. I need a dirty 20. Dirty 20. The damage on that. 3 plus 5 is 8 plus. This 8 plus the 2. That's 10. 10 for the first hit. And the Kinsey shot is added to. It's only added once off the second attack, correct?
I believe it's to any attack with a Kinsey weapon.
Okay, so
you add an extra D4.
That's 10. Let me get that D4. Hold on. 3 and 5. So that's 8. So that's 10 and 8 is 18 on that attack. And the second one is.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you know you don't need that.
Oh, okay.
Your first arrow. What does it look like when you pop this arrow off right after E comes across it, like hits it right across the face?
The action is moving so quickly that he still has a residue of the smoke pouring out of his nostrils. So as he pulls the bow back and he feels the flanges, the fletchings in his hand, he pushes the remaining bits of the green smoke and says, "I've got you," and releases. As the arrow flies out, he pushes the left and remnants of the smoke out of his nostrils as it finds its mark right in the Umber Hulk's eye, burrowing deeply into the solid parts of the center membrane, watching all of the brino liquid seep slowly out of the socket.
Yes, and all with the contrails of green smoke kind of flowing in the wake of the arrow, just all the way almost right to it. And it just drops back. And again, this one falls straight back and you hear a brief crack of the crystal as this thing falls dead. Below you, y'all can see the scrambling of like Nyogi on the deck underneath you. And you see what could be the shape of more Umber Hulks. So what would y'all like to do now? There is no, the ship itself, the Death Spider begins to right itself, and it looks like it's turning to engage with the Dawn Rose, but it's just now getting moving. So y'all are on top here. So as it begins moving, I need everyone to make a dexterity save, because y'all are just, kind of standing on the exterior of the ship.
24.
22.
16.
Dirty 20.
Okay, y'all all just kind of keep your feet underneath you is really all you needed to do. Otherwise, you fall, start tumbling one direction or another. But yes, you managed to keep your feet about you. The ship it moves a little bit away from Rontame. And like I said, begins to engage the Dawn Rose. The Dawn Rose outmaneuvers this ship. The ship is bigger, a little bit slower. So the Dawn Rose manages to spin about and get kind of behind it. And the people on your deck, they begin just shooting at the belly of the ship, just trying to stay away from the top of the ship itself. They kind of dip down and below, and they begin shooting at the underside of the ship. Cull is looking around, and angry that he has nothing to hit. And he's just kind of looks at Hilda and is like, what do you want me to hit?
Nothing. There's nothing to hit. Stop hitting things.
He just kind of like hits himself in the face and just like keeps his anger up. But manages to keep his wits about him enough. So where are y'all headed now? What would you like to do?
Is it time to use the signal?
Are we above what's going on Rantame's eye? Like, as the Nyogi turn to kind of engage the Dawn Rose, at any point are we above where there appears to be, like you said, we were 150 feet away from Rantame's eye, where there appears to be some type of conflict going on?
Well, this ship was all by itself and like just kind of tethered right above its eye, like, so the bottom of the Death Spider was right over its pupil.
Oh, so it was just firing sideways into it. Okay.
Well, that's the thing, is it wasn't really, you're not really sure what, because y'all haven't gone to the underside of the ship, but it was doing something. You're not sure what, right? And so it has now, since y'all have broken all the tethers, now righted itself, kind of perpendicular to Rantame, and is moving, because it sees what's happening here. The Dawn Rose is engaging it, and it's trying to engage the Dawn Rose itself.
Is Rantame still? Is he still blinking, like that defensive blinking that he was doing?
No, it is. Since y'all broke the tether away, and kind of pulled the bottom of the ship, the hull. You said, "Hey, we got you," and it was like, "Thank you." And it is kind of, like I said, it's kind of leveled out, and it's trying to keep itself level and even. So what would y'all like to do next? Is we'll keep the same initiative, but we're not really in initiative right now. Where would y'all like to go? Y'all trying to go somewhere? You're going to signal?
I think maybe we should signal and finish the rest of this from the comforts of the ship. Unless you enjoy fighting the rest of the Umber Hulks that are clamoring to get us below. We're all four like right next to each other, right? Yeah.
Yeah, y'all are all near each other.
Yeah. You see that look on your face, Henry? What manner of wickedness are you planning?
I'd like to blow this whole place up, but I'll defer to the captain. In all things.
E404. How do you feel about this? Run away or stay and fight.
He is kind of coming down from their rage.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an intelligence save.
Yeah.
How many
Uh,
people are below us? Just curious.
You think you can make out about 4 or 5 shapes? There looks to be about 3 Yogi, and you maybe see 2 more Umber Hulks on deck. One of them might be heading towards the door that led out here, with where the initial Umber Hulk came from.
Oh, it is quite tempting. Yes.
okay. 18.
18. E404. As you're coming down from this and you begin to regain control of yourself, you have a few still images of the last 20 seconds, like maybe 6 still images in total of the last, like I said, about 18 seconds or so, of y'all fighting this big thing, you hitting one of them, it trying to bite you, like the mouth of a mandible coming at you, but they are only still images. They don't move. So
as the eyes kind of again dim again. and looks over at the Umber Hulks. Oh, I remember hitting that. Huh.
Sorry, that's my favorite noise that E has made thus far. Really? Huh.
I am sorry, I did not hear your question. They're cool.
Oh, I don't even remember what it was anymore. Oh, you blabbed a long time ago. But here is something you can remember. Cole, I got something you can smash.
What you want? What you want? And he's like been over here just like hitting himself in the face, and like he's not let his anger subside.
You see that crack over there under that broken Umber Hulk? Smash it to bits.
And huge smile reveals these rotten yellow teeth, like one tusk that sticks up awkwardly, and he runs over and just like jumps and comes down feet first on the Umber Hulk. And wow. Yeah, the glass breaks free. Let's see how much of the glass breaks free. Quite a large section of glass breaks free. Who was still in the back? Was it you, DeCool?
Yes, I was the farthest from everyone.
I'm going to need a dexterity save from you as the section all around the Umber Hulk, and it comes right up to under your feet. So give me a dex save.
Gotcha.
Call fall through with the Umber Hulk down to the deck below.
17 and 5 is 22.
Yeah, you, without even a thought, really, you're so light on your feet, you just kind of hop to the side about 5 feet, and you're still up perfectly. But it's about a 30-foot drop down to the deck below from where you are.
That is fine. I have slow fall.
And Cole, yeah, he rides the Umber Hulk all the way down.
That does look cool, though.
Mm-hmm. And bits of crystal all flake and break away. Now that you can see down in here, this open area is maybe like about 50 feet wide or 40 feet wide, maybe about 60 feet long. There's a doorway, kind of the same as it was on the St. Stephen, leading towards the head compartment cabin. And then there are also stairs that lead up onto the crystal, where the Umber Hulks came up and out, or that one came up and out. But there are 2 other Umber Hulks down here. One of the Neogi that was down here, Cole landed on with, it was just a normal one, like a smaller one. And it's just flat. There's just a puddle of blood underneath it. But there are 2 Umber Hulks and 2 Neogi in here, in the deck area. And you also see stairs going down up where the kind of the head and the I don't know, the body, the thorax kind of meet. So since Cole basically starts the initiative, that's what happens. Hilda and Elry, 30 feet below you, your raging crewmate just landed down, and there's no shortage of enemies down there. What would you like?
He's lying on top of the Umber Hulk that he rode down, punching.
Okay.
And that's right, though. He's Cole's right beside it, right?
Right beside who?
You said that when he fell through the top, he was riding a Umber Hulk down.
Yogi was underneath where the Umber Hulk landed, so it's now it's a pancake pretty much. Spider pancakes, everyone.
Okay. And can I see the Neogi from
Yes.
where we are?
Oh yes.
I'm going to turn and defer to the captain as Elry's going to either do something incredibly ridiculous or not, depending upon what Hilda does.
Hilda's just gonna hold up her finger. Just be like, what? In a second. You said we're 30 feet away from them?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to do something that she's never done before, and she's going to sort of take her hammer and she's going to get really quiet, and you're all going to sort of feel that there's something in the air which is not quite right as she begins to gather the forces of again. And the spirit guardians, which I assume are still there for at least a little bit, are there is going to be something that comes out of their eyes and starts sort of pointing down, and it's going to hit at 3 of them. Let's say 2 Umber Hulks and 1 Neogi. And she's going to try to blind 3 of them, casting it at the 4th level.
Okay.
Or no, I guess she can only do 2. Or no, she can do 3. She can do 3. I can do math.
All right.
So they need to make a DC 16 con save.
DC 16 con, you say?
Yes.
Even with their +3, both Umber Hulks fail. The Neogi 16, you say? The Neogi looks like the Neogi passes.
Okay.
It looks up and is like, and starts yelling something, a curse at you, and it's gross language.
Okay. Well, we got 2 blind Umber Hulks. And with her move, can she just jump?
Yeah, you can just jump. You can give me acrobatics or athletics to kind of help with the landing.
Yeah, I'll do athletics. 21.
Okay, Hilda, you totally like superhero. You jump down, and hammer up. Spirit Guardian's still going.
Her back cracks as she sits up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh no, totally.
Hip.
Did you try to land near any of the Umber Hulks?
Can she land on top of one?
You rolled a what for your athletics?
21.
Just give me a D20 roll.
10.
You land right next to it. You tried to land on top of it, but you end up landing like right behind it.
Okay. I'll take it.
But
That's
you
good.
still like totally like superhero land.
Yes. Awesome.
And I failed the save for the Spirit Guardians.
Oh, great. About how many rounds did it take us to like get to this point?
You cast Spirit Guardians in which rounds? Round 2?
Round 2.
Okay, we're in round 7.
Okay, cool. So I still have a whole lot.
5 rounds.
Ooh, that's 19.
Alrighty. And the range on that is what?
15 feet.
Okay, yeah, you can only get the 1 right now. You needed 19?
Yep.
Alrighty. So there's that. Elry.
Yep.
Did you already go?
No, I waited to let Hilda go first.
Okay.
Now, yeah, she's down standing beside an Umber Hulk now, correct?
Oh, that she is.
Okay, so Elry's going to jump into the hole, and on his way down, he's going to shoot with the laser pistol, maintaining his 30 feet distance, so he can... Shit, that's a 15.
15 does miss.
I tried! Do you need a acrobatics?
Wait a second, though. When attacking a blinded creature, is it just...
What do you need?
I was just thinking, is there... do you have advantage to attack them? No. Yeah, advantage. You have advantage to attack creatures that are blinded.
Even worse. That's a 12.
Well, I tried. Oh well.
Thank you, buddy.
I want to make sure as many of the rules that make this cool are adhered to as possible. Okay, so it's your first time. The bolt goes right under his arm. You almost got him.
Do you need acrobatics?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics to check that landing.
That's a 21.
Okay, you can land anywhere you would like. Again, superhero style.
He's gonna drop very Assassin's Creed, land in the back with his arms out, but he's still maintaining 30 feet away. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, E404. You just watched Cull and two of your crewmates jump down into the deck. There are 2 Umber Hulks and 2 Neogi.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's just follow the leader then. I apologize if you hear any alarming sounds coming from my end because there's a horror movie going on. I promise there's no real cult in my house.
Uh-huh. All those games you run are a little bit too real.
Right, yes. D&D really is a summoning ritual to everything. No, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna hop down. I really want to try to land on one of these fuckers.
Give me a D20 roll.
Okay. 15.
Okay, if you jump down, you will land right on one of these motherfuckers.
Good.
Either the one that Hilda's fighting or the other one.
I'll jump on the other one.
Alrighty. You doing anything en route to being down there?
Yeah, I'm raging again.
Okay. So go ahead and give me your first attack, and this will be the you landing on them attack. And
Okay.
again, these things are blinded, so you have advantage. But remember, just because they're blinded, I'm going to say their effect still works.
Right, because it's just seeing their eyes.
Yeah.
All right, that's 18.
18 hits. She just hits.
And that is 8 points of damage. They also take the 3 from the fire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next attack.
That's a 23.
23 hits.
For 13 points of damage.
Okay. And by the way, when you landed on them, they did fall prone. You kind of took them down, and then you just hit them again. And I'm sorry, what was the damage again? I'm sorry.
13.
13. Gotcha. Cool. All right. So you hit that one. Cool.
Now you fell on she fell on the Umber Hulk or the Neogi?
The other Umber Hulk. So right now, Hilda is right next to one, engaged with one. E's engaged with the other. Hers is prone, or theirs is prone. And then Ellery kind of dropped back out of range.
Who is closer? Is Hilda closer to me? Or E4?
I mean, it's kind of they're the Umber Hulks are only about 20 feet apart. So yes, I would say Hilda is closer.
Okay. I'm gonna go towards Hilda's opponent. I'm gonna do an unarmed strike with stunning strike, and my other attack as well, my bonus attacks as well.
Okay.
So see. I roll an advantage. Since they're blinded.
Are you? Does that mean you are not averting your gaze?
Oh, shoot. Yes, I am averting my gaze.
You could always go with it and try to just make the save.
I am gonna roll with it. I am.
Okay. So give me a charisma save.
All right.
I can't believe you fell for that.
Hey man, but I'm gonna roll with it. Hold on. Oh damn! Oh crit! Yeah, crit. It was a 1. Full on fucked up.
Did you just roll a 1?
Yeah, critical fail, bro. All the way.
Okay, go ahead and roll a d8.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh my God. I deserve that. I deserve every bit of that L that I'm taking. Another 1.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah.
So the creature does nothing. I'm sorry, Dakul. Even though you have slow fall, you are now confused. So I'm gonna say that you're still gonna take damage. You take 8 damage as you jump off, and you're like, I'm going right for it, and you look right into this thing's blinded eyes, and just you forget who you are, and you see Dakul just kind of do this and just hit the deck, and he hits it hard, and he just kind of lays there.
Oh, I deserve that. Every bit of it. I'm sorry, team. I felt my balls getting bigger, but they really weren't. Okay.
All right. Probably shouldn't be feeling those during combat, but that's okay. It is now my turn. So these two Umber Hulks kind of just go a little crazy because they can't see anything. How long does the blind last? Hilda?
It's a round, but at the end of each of their turns, they get a chance to make another con save. Or it's not a round, it's a minute.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So at the end of it, so they're gonna swing. It's gonna swing at you, Hilda. First off, I'm gonna roll. Give me that. Yep, give me all that spiritual guardian damage.
Oh. 20.
20. Okay, and all 3 of its attacks, he's just like swinging and biting and clicking, and he's nowhere near you. Like he's like you're behind it, and he's like swinging in front of him. He takes that 20. All right, and E, the one on you is also swinging.
The one on me or the one I'm on top of?
Well, I mean, the one that you are fighting, that you are physically on, and that it is metaphorically fighting you. And yes. Okay, one of its claw attacks actually does hit you. I rolled an 18 and a 19. And so one of its claw attacks does hit you, so you take 9 damage from that. But it's also trying to stand up. So it kind of like pushes its way up. But it's still just kind of blinded and swinging wildly as it's doing this. The Neogi move up and E404.
Yes.
I am going to need, as you are kind of the closest, I'm going to need a wisdom save from you. As a Neogi kind of moves up and looks at you, and you can kind of feel it reaching out with its mind, saying, "Come to me."
That's a 14.
14 is the exact number you need. You feel it press its will upon you, and you rebuff it, and it kind of screams at you, and so you'll be good. You're gonna be good for a while. The other Neogi moves forward, and it tries to do the same thing to you, Hilda, as it kind of moves up a little bit closer, and you feel it reaching out with your mind. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
20. 30, 20.
Okay, yeah. You easily just push it away. And yeah, you're like, bitch. And it kind of spits in anger and like, Dakul, in your confusion, you hear the laughing and chittering in the back of your mind. And you hear a voice that you have not heard in quite a while. slither into the back of your confused, and you're not sure if this is you're remembering this or if this is happening now in your state, but you definitely hear the voice. Ooh, welcome to my ship. And it is now Cole's turn. He runs over to one of the Nyogi. Yep. Uh-huh. And he pretty much rips it in half. These are the small, like this isn't like one of the big Nyogi. These are smaller, and he runs up and hits it once and then hits it again, and it just kind of pops. And he turns around and looks at the other Nyogi and is like, "Rah!" and like screams, and it looks like he's about to run after that. It is Hilda and Elry's turn.
The Nyogi are not engaged with anybody, correct?
Correct. They are out and free. It looks like they were trying to enforce their wills on your crewmates.
Okay, so Elry's going to stay within. Can he do this? Can he circle and stay 30 feet away from the Umber Hulks, like creep around the edge of the cabin? And he wants to get to the point where he can shoot his gun at the Umber Hulk that E404 is working on. And then he wants to take his Shadow Blade and throw it at the Nyogi.
Yeah, you can just kind of shift about 10 feet to your right, and you'll be able to do both of those things.
Okay, cool. So I'll take the normal shot on E404's Umber Hulk. Nope, that is a 10. And then he's going to throw the Shadow Blade, which is advantage on the Nyogi.
Okay.
18 plus 7 is 25. And a 20 that I have not touched. I'm going to bring it again. This is for Grant, who's giving me shit in chat.
He is.
Look at that.
That's a professional 20 right there. It's a professionally placed 20.
Yeah, right? Please. No, wait. Before I do that, notice where all my other dice are. What was I rolling? They're in the corners. Look, can you see that? They're in the corners. That was also for Grant. Yogi, motherfucker.
All right, give me that damage.
2, 4. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. 2, 6, 8, 16 psychic. 9, 6, 15, 30, 30 regular, 30 sneak, 16 psychic, total of 46. Mr. Nyogi.
On the Nyogi? Okay,
well,
what does it look like as you cut this thing with your psychic blade?
As he throws it through and it cuts off the head of the Nyogi, he turns, screams up to the heavens, perhaps to the constellation of a bad boy, and says, "I'm 8th level, bitches!"
And somewhere the bad boy constellation's eye just twinkles a little bit with pride. I'm assuming. And yeah, the Nyogi's head goes flying and just like hits the side of the dome here in the deck area, and it slumps to the ground. So that's Elry, Hilda.
All right.
And both of the Umber Hulks are still, by the way, I did roll their saves for the blindness. They are both still blinded.
Still blind. All right. The one next to me, yes, still there?
Still there. Still, its back is to you.
Okay.
And I will say, I'll say this, because of the height disparity and the fact that you are directly behind it, I will say that you can look at it and make attacks normally. So that means you can attack with advantage.
Sweet.
Because its head is completely blocked from your vision. So.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, I don't even need to attack it. It needs to make a dexterity saving throw to get out of the way of the thing that I'm throwing at it, which might be difficult given that I made it blind.
It's true. I rolled a 1.
There you go. So I am going to roll damage as even though she is surrounded by necromantic energy.
Yeah.
I can't see it, but I trust you.
Yeah, it's fine. They're tiny. That's the problem with tiny dice. It's hard to see.
It's also that they make you a fucking cheater, Pruitt. But that's okay.
How dare you?
Decades-long legacy of the dice. It is. You're not the cheater. The dice are the cheaters. They're cheating dice. That's how it works. That's how it works. So, yes, she is going to create this sacred flame, a moment of radiance, and while she is surrounded by necromantic energy. That is 14 plus 5. That is 19 radiant damage.
19, you say?
Yes.
Alrighty. So your sacred flame kind of envelops his upper half, and clicking his mandibles and screaming this weird bug-like scream. You done there? Bonus action or anything?
I'm done. I'm good.
Cool. E404.
So this thing is trying to get up but can't.
It's in the process of standing up. It kind of since you are. No, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, all good.
Just have the sounds of murder on in the background as a soundtrack. So yeah, since you didn't grapple it, it's kind of pushing its way up with its bulk. I mean, it's about as strong as you are, so it's in the process of standing up, but it's still blinded. So
Okay, so without looking at it in its face, I'm just gonna shove the arm cannon right up to this thing and let off a blast.
Okay, I'm gonna say even though this goes against technically the rules, I'm gonna say you're attacking with advantage. Because you're literally putting the barrel of this thing to its head and pulling the trigger.
Oh, that's exactly an 18.
18 is exactly what you need.
Okay. Okay. That is 13 points of gun damage.
13 points of force damage as you like shoot this thing in the back of the head, and you can kind of see its skull plates crack a little bit. Stop looking.
And I'm gonna do it again because I can't. This one will be a 14 though, so nope.
Oh, all right, so yeah, it's the you kind of double tapped, and so its head kind of got knocked forward, and you just shoot into the deck of the ship, and it kind of cracks some boards. And anything else with you gonna move bonus or anything? Yeah.
Oh, and immediately gets 3 points of fire damage.
I swear to God, stop licking my feet. Sorry. Isis has an annoying new habit while I'm streaming. Anyway. All right. So that is E. Dakul, it is your turn.
I'm still confused. Is it just that one round, or do I have my senses again?
No. It's now your turn again. You have your senses. You don't have to look at them. You have to use half your move to pick yourself up off the floor.
All right. I use half my move to pick myself off the floor and cover my eyes and sticking with the pointy end.
Okay.
The closest one was the one that was on top of Hilda, right? That was the one that got me. If I remember correctly.
Hang on. That's the one you intended to, but you kind of got thrown off, and you're actually closer to the one on E.
Okay.
Or the one that E was on. Excuse me.
All right. No, I'm not going to close my eyes and do that. I'm a monk. I'm going to bring my key and my sensor together. Almost blindfolded like Karate Kid, and feel my way to the Umber Hawk with the tip of my blade. I'm rolling with disadvantage, right?
Actually, because they are... Wait, are you actually blinding yourself?
Well,
I gotta ask because in the game there's a condition called blind, which is what they are.
No, I'm not blinding myself.
Okay.
No.
Maybe just covering like
not in the tailpipe trick.
Well, I was helping you out there because they are blinded, so you get advantage to hit. But since you're looking away, that's disadvantage. So you'd be making normal attacks. They offset.
All right. Well, since they offset,
and you can just make normal attacks.
Yes, my normal attacks with my super cool monk techniques. All right. Yeah. So the first one's going to be an unarmed strike, so I can do
a stunning fist.
Yes.
Give me that attack, yo.
Let me see what we got her. Come on, give me something good. 9 and 8 is 17.
17 is just short. Like you hit the shell and your fist kind of hurts a little bit. It didn't.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I can miss with the first, but then I'm going to bring it back for that back fist.
All right.
Okay, one more key point. I've got tons of them. Come on, give me something.
If you don't hit it, you don't spend it.
Well, I get that other one back. All right. Bet. I didn't know that. That's good. I rolled a 10 on that one, so 10 and that's 18. One more better.
18's a hit.
All right, cool.
Actually, I'm probably wrong about that, but
I am patient. Is that we good?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So 6 and 1.
Yeah, just so you know, the wording of Stunning Strike says when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can spend a key point to attempt to stun it. So if you don't hit, you don't spend the point.
Okay, that is very good to know. That one only did 6 points of damage.
6 points, but what's my DC for the stunning?
16.
16. Okay, yeah. You stun this thing. You like catch it right in the temple, and of course it didn't see it coming, and it just kind of like sits there, and like you see its mandibles kind of twitching a little bit.
Okay. Can I spend another key point for flurry of blows?
You most certainly can.
Yes. Not done with you yet. Yes, I'll spend that additional key for flurry of blows. That's 2 more unarmed. That's much better. 17, 8 is 25. I'll take it.
That's a hit.
That's a beautiful thing. 6. 10 points of damage.
All right. So you're pounding this thing just like in its head as it's like kind of standing up. Cool. Now it is the DM's turn. My turn. Can I get everyone there to make a dexterity save as you feel the ship kind of shift as it's making a maneuver? This whole time, I mean, you have heard like ballista go off, and you felt rocking a little bit of things hitting this ship as it's engaged in a battle with the Dawn Rose. 14.
9.
You got a
14.
9?
Yeah.
14 is the number you need to hit. If you do that, you're fine. But if you're below a 14, then you fall prone as you're just kind of like the ship kind of banked a little hard and you just fell over. And Dakul, you can kind of hear that laughing when you fall over.
You have a lot of courage laughing from the shadows. But let's see how courageous you are when I stick my foot in your spidery ass.
Walk through the door, Dakul. Walk to your doom.
Oh, you will see me. You can believe that.
Okay. Cole moves over to the one on you, Hilda. And yeah, he's like looking full on at this thing. And well, he did all right on that save. So yeah, he's just swinging wildly and he connects with the one on you and does quite a bit of damage. But it is still standing, and it is back around to you, Hilda and Elry. You still only see the 2 Umber Hulks. y'all can hear the from below decks, like movement and fighting going, like, you know, people loading ballista, things like that. Just the sounds on a ship of a crew at work, but still nothing else has come up. And the door at the head of this deck area here is closed.
Did they take their spirit guardians damage?
Oh, I am so sorry. This one, yes, it did take damage. What did it take?
16.
Damn. Okay, 16. Okay, so Cole runs over, punches this thing a couple times, and then what does it look like when your spirit guardians just cut this thing down? Like,
So basically, all Ledbetter and Lorne and all the red shirts and all the people who have died on the ship, they swarm this thing. They're all like tiny versions. They're like little pocket versions of themselves.
mhm.
And they swarm this Umber Hulk, and they jam their pickaxes and jam their torches in between all of its chitinous layers. And they force it into submission into, I'm gonna go with a grave. They put it in a grave, and then they bury it incredibly quickly, and that's what happens.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah, now I'm just imagining all of them the same size as Hamilton, so that, you know.
Yes, Hamilton is an equal participant in both size and spirit.
That's literally, that was just for Greg.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Okay.
his mouth isn't full of shit.
So yeah, and they like basically like pat down the grave that this Umber Hulk has been buried in, plop a tombstone down. Anyway, and so it falls to your might. What rest of your act? I mean, you didn't actually use your action.
I didn't. Is there anything else left alive in here?
There is the other Umber Hulk that E and DeCool are currently fighting.
Okay, I'm going to produce another burst of Sacred Flame. Dex save 16, please.
Okay. Dex save. Okay. Give me that damage.
All right. That is 11 radiant damage.
Okay.
And I'll use my move to get closer to it. Can I get within 15 feet of it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then it needs to make a DC 16 Wisdom save.
Okay. My dice love y'all tonight, by the way.
So that's 17 necrotic damage.
Fucking believe this. 17.
17.
So you had you had Alien over here, and you come over to this other Umber Hulk and produce the sequel right in front of it as your spirit guardians tear into it, pick it at its legs and drop it down, and same thing. They just bury this thing, place a tombstone.
This one they build a little mausoleum that looks like a tiny Umber Hulk.
And they build a little mausoleum and finish building it off as a monument to the Umber Hulk's ineptitude. The deck is clear. It is E404's turn. Or Elry, you went, right? Or have you gone? Elry, it is your turn.
Nobody else in here?
There is
Neogi
nothing
dead?
else.
Okay. He's going to call his Shadow Blade back to him, and then he's going to drop into the shadows and get over by the one door out of here. So I'm going to hide if all possible.
Okay. Yeah, it's like 25, 30 feet away. So you can...
That is a 19 plus 10 for a 29 stealth as Elry makes his way to
Elry moves up to the door, and even y'all are like Nicole almost wants to say, "Where is Elry?" Almost. That's about as much as I'll ever get to taking agents away from y'all. Sorry, I just wanted the joke. And E404, it is your turn.
So this is clear. Correct?
The deck is clear. It is nothing but mushed bug guts and flattened spiders. In like I said, you can hear things from below you. You saw Elry move up to the door. I mean, it's right there, like 30 feet away.
Okay. Is going to kind of follow behind. I'm just gonna try to ignore my roommates in these last few minutes. I am following up behind Ellie, and I'm gonna hold my action for if anything comes through that door. As
right.
Processing. Target. Lockdown. Initializing.
All right. E moves up to the door. DeCool.
Maybe it is the act of the confusion from the battle. But more than likely, it is the primal rage of knowing that the voices in his head holds the secret to finding out the history of his mother. There is nothing stopping Dakul from going through that door. It's his complete, reckless abandonment, as he will attempt to kick the door open as he goes through, swords in hand, dripping with the entrails of the defeated.
All right, so DeCool runs, gets a full head of steam going, and just kind of does a sidekick into the door. It breaks off of its hinges, sliding forward. And as the dust kind of whooshes past you as you strike an awesome, kung fu pose, ahead of you, probably 30 feet away, is a plinth, much similar to the one on the St. Stephen, although this ship is a little bit bigger. It is bigger. But it turns, and on it is a much larger Neogi. This Neogi is about the same size as y'all. It's like a large, I don't know what to compare it to, like a horse with shorter legs, but it is massive. And on the plinth turns towards you, and you see a gold chain around its neck, gold square with a red ruby in the center, and it turns its eel-like head towards you. Daku, we meet face to face at last. And that's where we're going to leave off today. And there it is. As you stand before you, Dakul, beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is Axum Toll, the Neogi that haunted your dreams while in the Nerosphere. Now it is in the Toho Sphere. For what reason? Who knows? Maybe you'll find out next week. Maybe you'll slaughter him before you can. But everybody's going to have to wait till next week when I can do a little work on my throat so I can actually do that voice for a little bit longer. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do it too much. I'm a little creepy. Yeah, it is creepy. I'm sorry. A little sore today. So let's go around to cast and crew, see how everybody liked it, and tell us where we can find you, what you're doing. And like always, let's do reverse order, starting with Kiana.
Nogi and Umber can go fuck themselves, and probably I promise there was no murder or cult things happening in my house other than in the movie. So I appreciate you guys being patient as I low-key freaked out and was trying to deal with a fight here and whatever was going on in the other room over there. But this was so much fun as always. I love blasting off the space with these guys and dealing with these goddamn Neogi again. Unhappiness. But you know what? Let's try to put them down once and for all. But until that episode where we try to actually put them down once and for all, you guys can find me over on Twitter at KennaS. Best way to figure out what I am doing, because I am all over the internet doing role-playing games almost every day of the week, all across the internet. Jesus. Sorry, backstage chat.
Sorry, the backstage chat, like always, Emma just exploded it. God.
I think that's all you need to know. My links are in chat. Thanks, guys.
Kiana has a lot of awesome games all over, and they are awesome. Trey, go.
Oh my gosh.
As soon as you can, just go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be standing outside your car again with that same bag of sugar for you cheating on me, for ending the game like that. Come on, man. I was right there. I'm trying to snatch chains, man. And you're killing my swag. But it's in a good way because I know it's a continuation. That's all. I'm just a little upset. I'm breathing and taking all good. Well, anyways, you can reach me in the Twitter sphere at Centel, and also on my Instagram at Centel as well. If you are a firm fan of storytelling like we've been going through on these amazing trips on Starward Bound, please be a big supporter of Lights Camera Discover, where we teach the filmmaking and story making process to kids who have never had this opportunity to be that type of creative. You can check us out at lightscameradiscover.org, and you can see what we're up to. Thank you all for being a participant, and man, I just love this game. I'm still mad at you, man. I'm telling you, a bag of sugar right outside your car.
Do you promise? All right. Move it on over. Emma, the MVP of chat, as always.
I'm sorry. I didn't think that was going to happen when I said that.
What did you think would happen when you type that?
She does have his panties.
You can't talk about the Don's panties and not expect us to lose our shit.
It's just true. I mean,
anyway.
It's on her equipment list.
I know it is. You did write that they are monogrammed, right?
Yes, of course.
They say DC on them? Okay. Yep.
We lost Kiana. Late in the game.
All right. Okay. Mark your next corner for the Kiana.
Take a shot.
We need to add a Kiana like bird, like
flip off.
Yeah, flip off.
We need like a little GIF that comes up that people can do something to make it like happen.
Because that happens for Kiana, and anytime we mention a certain H animal for a certain E person.
Yes. Yes. All right. I am Emma Lambert. I'm the communications director for WebDM. My personal Twitter is SusieKing85, where I complain about being tired a lot, which I certainly will very soon, because I'm not going to be here next week because Jim and I are going to be on vacation with Trogdor Burninator, and I'm not reading chat because I'm trying really hard to keep my shit together.
That's probably a good idea.
Oh, even when you close it, it comes up in a little bubble underneath. Oh, shit. If you like WebDM, you should be following us on Twitter and on Facebook. And you will be talking to mostly me. However, because I'm on vacation, you will be talking to our wonderful intern, Matt, from time to time. And I also found a bunch of really shitty puns that are going to make you hurt inside. But you will see this week. That's about it. I love this game. Not only because we're very, very silly, but because we have all these high stakes and wonderful things that can happen all the time. And I love playing this game with you guys. That's it for me. I'm really sorry.
Trust me, you've done more than enough tonight. And last but not least, Greg, how are you doing, man? You had a laser pistol and a lightsaber this time.
I think I've said this before, but this is my therapy session. I can't, my insurance cut me off for my therapist. So I'm able to spend 3 hours with you all here and just laugh my ass off. Chat's great. Being in the web DM community is fantastic. And these players and DM are the absolute best. It is the highlight of my week as far as being able to feel my soul lift with joy. Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and on the Twitters. I'm between shows now on the channel, but we're having several one-shots. This Friday continues the Outbreak Undead. I guess made infamous by Ivan Van Norman on Alpha as he runs it with Frontier. We are sending 18 players into the zombie apocalypse. Who knows how many will return? It's now for the next month. We have several people in here that'll be playing. Our Emma and then a bunch of people around on the channel will be playing. So it'll be fun. And check us out. But by God, please come back and join me for my therapy session. I need the cool smoking. I need E404 giving shit. And I need the best descriptions of spirit guardians in the history of Dungeons and motherfucking Dragons. That's why I'm here. That's why we've got the best DM in the biz. I'm hanging out acting like an asshole, but I'm rolling 20s doing it. I'll see you next week.
Definitely tonight. Yes, great job everyone tonight. I was so excited. I told Grant yesterday, I was like, I'm going to remind everybody that we're fucking playing Spelljammer. And so, yeah, that's what this whole thing was, the purpose of this adventure, just to kind of get back into it a little bit. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, that we have here with us. We love you there in chat. I love this crew so much. They give me joy every week. And a few shout outs. First off, our sponsor, Tabletop Loot. Head on over there, tabletoploot.com, WebDM15. Get that 15% off. Dice, mugs, t-shirts. The art tonight, as always, provided by, it's a combination of, now we're up to like 3 people. It's Alexa, over on Twitter, Alexa_art, Brandon Herbert, War Eagle Keep. He did some work on that. And now our big battle scene that you saw tonight, Grant Ellis, the man behind the curtain. Anyway, it was badass. I had a lot of fun with him last night. It's like threw that image together in like an hour. It was just like, oh shit. he's a badass. Anyway, I'm Pruitt, one half of WebDM. We're gonna have a new video coming out tomorrow. We'll have Land Between Two. No, we won't have Land Between Two Rivers on Thursday because Jim and Em are coming into town, and I'm gonna get to see them on Thursday. So I'm very excited about that. We will be back next week for another Starward Bound. We will work out what's going to go on with Hilda there. So Emma, be sure to make sure to mark where you are with your character and spell slots and all that fun stuff. But anyway, we will pick this back up starting next week as we have yet another double feature in the Neogi fight, which was, now thinking back, is kind of weird. So anyway, we'll see you next week. And as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.